Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your Friday. Yay!
It's Friday the 13th.
Oh dear. Spooky. I don't know if I should go on my bike ride by myself to Manhattan Beach today.
It's a 15-minute bike ride.
So many things could happen. Bike ride, Friday the 13th. Ah! Doody, 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 doody,
Duty? Saying duty?
I'm saying duty.
Are you guys excited for Halloween?
Halloween. I'm not even there. I'm not even at fall yet.
I'm excited for Halloween.
I'm not even at fall yet. I'm still in summer.
I can see that.
I'm going to hold on to summer as long as I can.
Well, it's still nice here, so that's a bit easier for us.
Yeah, I suppose. I'm not into pumpkin this and pumpkin that and spicy this and spicy that. I'm still into sunshine.
What's up, Jen?
Hey, Jen!
Hola!
Hola!
I think the H is silent.
I know, but I don't want to say the H is silent. I want to say hola!
Okay, I think
¿Cómo está,
Oh my God.
señorita?
Dorothy speaks a little bit of Spanish to our
Vegetable stand guy
veggie guy.
at the farmer's
And
market.
he's like all excited to see Dorothy. And then she didn't speak Spanish to him.
Today I blanked. Or yeah, this Wednesday I blanked. I don't know.
I was like, why didn't you speak Spanish to him? And she's like, I don't know. He was like, his eyes got all bright, and he sees Dorothy, and then he's like pretty serious. I mean, Dorothy has a way of wearing people down,
Yeah.
and so she like gets all excited, and like speaks Spanish to him, like the few words she knows, and he gets excited, and then
I know like this much Spanish. I was like, tres vegetales, por favor. And he's like, ooh, oh my, she's speaking Spanish. What else do we know? I don't know all the words I know.
At any rate, my story,
Fresa.
I was all excited, or he was all excited, sees Dorothy, his eyes light up, and then she's all serious, and he's like, oh. And then he just like carried on with his day. And I was like, why didn't you speak Spanish to him?
I don't know. I don't know why I didn't. I'm running out of words. Who knows Spanish? Who can give me some more words?
Hey, Shauna.
Hey, Shauna.
Hey, you guys think we should do a live every morning?
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I could handle that with you.
Would you tune in?
Would you like to watch me live every morning?
Dorothy would love that. Hey, Shauna. Did we say hey, Shauna?
Yeah, we said hi to Shauna.
What's up, Michelle? Michelle says,
Hola.
hola. Is it hola or hola?
Hola, amigos.
I don't think there's a handful, or not there's a handful. I just heard of another couple that does Facebook Lives every morning. And I'm like, man. And they have like huge audiences. And I don't feel like we need to do more to have like a huge audience. We're pretty happy with our audience now, with you guys. But I'm like, is there something to that, what they're doing? Like, why? Like, we know that most of you know Rachel Hollis and her husband, they do a Facebook Live every morning. And then I just heard about this new couple, and they've got hundreds of thousands of followers, and they do a Facebook Live every morning. I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I have the energy.
I think Rachel Hollis and her husband started doing lives together because we did.
I bet they did.
She's like, oh, not Drew and Dorothy. You better do them with me.
You gotta keep up with them. Jen says, yes. All right, Jen, you got it. We're gonna do it.
Every morning? Oh my. We wouldn't even need topics. We could just come on and chat.
I think that's what we do anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
We do have topics, but we rarely get to them.
Yes, because it's just so much fun hanging out with you guys. And it's Friday.
Friday. And...
oh, Sarah learned a ton of Spanish from Dora.
You need a little Dora in your life.
I need a little Dora.
Oh my gosh. Don't encourage her, Shauna.
You know what we watched yesterday was Care Bears.
Care Bear Stare.
Yeah, we did. Who was your favorite Care Bear? I like the Rainbow Dash, or that's a pony, I think, Rainbow Dash. But the one with the rainbow on it, that was my favorite.
We had this conversation. I was like, Rainbow Stare. And Dorothy's like, what is that? I'm like, you don't know Rainbow Stare?
I never heard it called that before. That's just when they put all their superpowers together.
Yeah. Did you guys watch Care Bears, let us know in the comments.
Care Bear countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Stare. Is that how they did it?
I didn't remember that part of it, but Drew never remembers anything. But then when he does remember something, it's something I don't remember at all.
I never remember anything.
You have not a very good memory.
Well, thank you for that. I'm sharing this. Hey, do you guys want to share this video on your pages?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. I'm serious. You didn't. You know what Dorothy doesn't do? She never logs out of stuff. So we share a computer, and then she uses a computer at the library. So when she uses this computer, she never logs out.
I'm much better than I used to be.
So when I log into my email, and she doesn't log out, she just closes her window. So when I pull up my email address, I like start reading my emails, and I'm like, who are these coming from? And I'm like, oh, this is Dorothy's email. So I just pulled up Facebook to share this on other pages, and it's Dorothy. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. They're like, oh, it's Dorothy's account.
But sometimes that happens to me too. I go on, and it's all logged into Drew, and then I comment, and I'm like, oh, whoopsies. It'll be me speaking or typing the messages, but it'll be your account.
Real world problems.
Yeah.
Got some real issues in our lives.
What are you guys up to this weekend? What are you guys doing? Let us know in the comments. We actually are going to bring TriMeg to a trade show tomorrow here at a local gym. That's super exciting for us. So we have just started, well, not just started, we've been trying to make connections over the summer, and so now some of those connections are coming to fruition. So we have TriMeg already in not a health food store, but a health place.
They make pre-made meals.
So it's called Ready Fit Go.
Yeah.
So they may have a commercial kitchen, and they pre-make all your meals. So you just go in and you're like, for breakfast I want this, for lunch I want that, for dinner I want that. Anyway, they are stocking TriMeg in their store now, which is super exciting. And then we went to a beach workout a couple weekends ago, which was super cool.
Poise Fitness.
And then we're going again to Poise Fitness tomorrow with TriMeg for a pop-up market. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're excited. It's nice to get in front of a different audience. So we've done different things around Olds, Alberta. We've been in different health food stores, but it's different. Like, it's kind of fun to be in a different. It's like completely different environment, like different types of people, different questions, different responses. Mm-hmm. So it's just nice to be in a different market to see how people respond. And I think it's different, but it's kind of the same. Sometimes
different, but the same.
I think people don't realize, unless you've actually been in front of someone, you don't realize what it's like to be constantly rejected.
Oh, yeah.
and that's what happens. And it's part of it. So we know that. So it's not like a complaint. It's like, that's reality. So when you offer something to someone, they're instant, if they don't know you, and that's business, right? That's why we always teach, like when I teach business owners or entrepreneurs, and I do business coaching, I try to teach them how to develop trust first. So a lot of you guys watching this, you trust us at least on some level to be here and spend some of your time with us. And I think it's a big mistake for most businesses to just throw product. Yeah. And then because there's no trust there, people are like, why do they keep throwing these products in my face?
Yeah.
So for us, you have to develop trust first, but it's pretty difficult if you're in a like trade show environment and people are just kind of walking by. So we offer, would you like a free sample? And people automatically, they're like, they're talking to me. So, it's just instant like, no. So it was really cool. We were on the Strand at the beach, and we had the opportunity to have a very specific group. Like the Poise Fitness introduced us to their audience, and they say these guys came here to offer you a free sample. So almost everyone came over.
Yeah,
was like excited and interested. And we had some samples left, so the Strand is right behind the beach. So all these people, like random people, are walking by. So I kind of went over, put on my brave suit, and I was like, I'll go offer some free samples. So I go over there, and I was like, hey guys, would you like to try some magnesium? First couple's like, no. And I was like, oh man, I forgot what that rejection was like.
Felt like.
Because we've done trade shows in the past. I've done book signings were horrible, to be honest with you, because you sit there in the middle of the store and people look at you like, is that guy famous? Like, what did he do? Then they're like kind of like half interested in like what I'm talking about.
Or they dodge your table.
But then they don't want to like be like feel like they have to sell, or they like walk up to the table. They walk up to, and then they see you sitting there at the table, and they like completely walk around you. So those are super challenging for me at the time.
Yeah, it's just because people are so. It's hard because there's so much marketing out there that people are, including myself, like we're afraid to be sold to, right?
Well, we don't want to be sold.
We don't want to be sold
Most
to,
people
right?
don't want to be sold.
Right. So that's why they're like, they're gonna sell me something. Get out of here! Abort!
It's true.
So, what are you guys up to this weekend? That's our fun-filled weekend.
We will tell them about. I'm just sharing here. That's what I'm doing. Dorothy's supposed to be talking, which is almost never a challenge unless I'm eating food in front of you guys. Or drinking tea, and then she goes silent.
He has lots to say this morning, doesn't he?
I want to tell you about Santa Cruz. Maybe Dorothy can tell you that.
Sure.
Cue Dorothy. Speak now.
I needed one of those. Maybe I don't need one. But when we were at the Jimmy Kimmel show, he had like the teleprompter. I'm like, oh my gosh. They just tell you what to say.
You don't have to do it.
You know, like that would be pretty cool. Just have a teleprompter and they tell you what to say. Of course, there's a little bit more to it than that because he has to, like you don't just like mumble and read the teleprompter. There's certain enthusiasm and certain things that are necessary that in that regard. But I'm like, man, who wants to write our scripts?
I kind of felt like he was a bit of a puppet. And I don't mean that in like a
negative way.
Yeah, like I'm a fan. I like him. I like his show, but he just kind of like they had everyone was all excited, getting the crowd excited and like cheering, and they had like a comedian there, and he basically just came out like they were like brushing like it was like from a movie.
They
had
a lint roller. There was one man's job to have the lint roller and brush his suit. And then one man's job, well, I'm sure that's not the only job they had, but during the filming, one man's job was to fill his cup. And I'm not sure even when he was drinking Jimmy Kimmel. I thought it was like iced tea or something. But he had like the pitcher of iced tea or whatever it was. And when it would break or it would be off filming, that man's job was to come fill his cup up. Like, I'm like, is this for real? Who's gonna fill my tea?
Yeah. Here's
Drew fills my tea.
And then someone came out and did his makeup.
Oh yeah.
She came out, did like a couple brush ups, and then like disappeared, like she wasn't there.
But it was interesting because he just kept going. Like there was one lady, I'm assuming the producer or whoever, she would come and put like the paper on his desk of the script or of what he had to say or who was the guest or information about the guest. Not too sure what was on the paper, but he would be before they go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 live. He would be reading up until it went live. So these people would come brush his lint off and like do his makeup and fill his tea, and he would just work around them, right? Yeah,
he's done quite a bit of research, I'm sure, before going in. So I'd imagine those notes are like just brushing up, like, oh, right. This is that segment.
Right.
Let's see what we got here.
Woo! I like to see the comments. It excites me. Woo! See?
Chen says, I loved that as a kid. She's talking about
Care Bears.
I was a big fan too. I feel like
I had a few Care Bears. Did you have them?
I probably had Care Bears.
I wonder if my mom still has them.
Shauna says, great job with TriMag promoting. I have Max later this morning for a couple days.
Double TriMag?
Double boost of energy.
Double TriMag. Max is busy.
Yes, thanks, Shauna. I hope you guys have fun.
Yeah.
Shauna,
send us some pictures.
Yeah, Shauna sends us some pictures once in a while, so those are always cool to see. This is our TriMag right here. If you haven't seen it yet, super excited about it. TriMag is still cruising around and growing in different places. So, yeah, very exciting. If you're interested in more details, let us know. That's our TriMag.
Dave's in here. What's Dave saying?
What's up, Dave? Dave went to Jimmy Kimmel with us.
He was with us. He did talk to a guy in the crowd, and that wasn't written down for him.
Yeah.
What guy?
He was making fun of that guy in the bottom right corner.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty cool. He is a jokester, Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out. Hey, Dave, you probably know. Well, you watched The Man Show, Dave. Like, we watched. They played it. Like, The Man Show was like a show that was kind of came out. I think we're in college, Dave. And then what? Do you know? I think Jimmy Kimmel's like a comedian. Like, well, he is a comedian. And then I think he got on The Man Show somehow. I don't know if he did anything before that. Has anyone seen The Man Show? It's not like. I don't even know if it's aired. I don't think it airs anymore, but I don't think it. At any rate, and then he got on the late night. So I was like, I wonder where he came from, or like, so I kind of tracked his progress from what I remember. But I imagine he's done a bunch of other things before that.
Mm.
But oh yeah, he's making fun of someone in the crowd.
Yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't. Of course, it's not all scripted, but I think the majority of the show is.
Yeah.
Michelle.
Relishing in the fact I've survived week 2 of regular routines. Woo woo!
Yes.
Can't believe 2 weeks of school just done.
I know.
Boom. Done.
It goes by so quick. Like halfway September's over. I'm like, I'm not even done with July or August.
I know.
And now it's halfway September.
I know. And then we went away for a couple of days. And just getting back and catching up from all that. I'm like, it's Friday? How is it Friday?
Yeah.
Right?
And it's Friday the 13th. I feel like we should do something. Like, Friday the 13th should be like everyone should dress up like Halloween.
Really?
Yeah. I like dressing up for Halloween. It shouldn't be more than one. Should not only
be once a year.
Yes.
It should be more than once a year.
Yeah, it should be like
Drew, I will
times a year.
support you dressing up into different costumes if that's what you want to do.
I want to do that.
I will support
Let's
that.
do it. Who's with me?
Every Friday morning live, Drew's going to be wearing a different costume now.
Bring it. Dave says he's on a local radio show in LA. Wherever he's from. Where was the Man Show filmed? Dave knows all these weird random facts.
Because he has a memory.
I can remember.
He does not have a memory.
I remember lots of things. I remember when he talked all the time about my memory. So this is Peaches and Cream, and we went to Santa Cruz. We came back down, and there was like these fruit stands everywhere. And not everywhere, sorry, but there's the amount of fruit. There was fields of artichokes.
Which is not a fruit.
You don't know that. Well, I guess it could be vegetable. So
I think it would be.
there was artichokes, and there was strawberries and raspberries and blackberries.
Blackberries? I didn't see blackberries.
Oh, we ate some in that tray. Maybe it wasn't blackberries. Maybe that was imported. But anyways, they were... You're not helping me out much here.
No.
What's your
Because I don't remember.
I
I remember lots of farming fields, like vegetables. I remember the artichokes, and I remember the raspberries went on for miles and miles and miles. Like raspberries.
And there's like tents over them.
Yeah. It must be so hot.
People picking them.
Yeah. Tents over every strawberry bush. It was miles. It was the most raspberries I've ever seen. It was Northern California?
Sure.
Was it?
I don't know where the line is.
You don't know where the line is? It was north of us.
Dave, where's the line of Northern California?
North and south.
Like San Jose? I don't know.
I don't know.
So
It was cold.
Yeah.
Santa Cruz equals cold.
We actually met my mom and my brother in Santa Cruz. And it was like cold for us. Because we've been here for 2 months.
2 months now.
And the weather hasn't been less than 75 degrees. Well, actually, we went to a movie on the beach and it was a bit cool. But we haven't experienced that coolness, and it wasn't even cold. It was just a bit cool. And the water is a bit cooler. And we're like, it's kind of cool here. We needed like a sweater. And they're looking at us like, something's wrong with you two.
The water was cold, but I read in my book, because whenever we go to a new place, I always get a book about the place. Anyway, that's a different story. But I read in my book that it's typically the water is cold there. All the surfers were in wetsuits. The water was cold. Drew went in. I did not.
I jumped in. It was much cooler than here. I got back here and jumped in our beach, our water. And it was like pool water compared to. But anyways, what I wanted to tell you was is we put some posts up on Instagram and Facebook stories. I don't know if either of us put it on our news feed, but we got this giant bag of peaches for $1.
Two. Didn't
So
we
we
get
got-
two?
yeah. I wasn't done.
It's like this big.
So we bought 2 of them because they were $1, and they were like ripe, and we're like, we can use those for smoothies. So we ate a few on the way back, and then we have some in our cereal. This is Dorothy's peaches and cream. It is unreal.
It's so good, you guys.
We have a recipe here. I'll pull
Yeah,
it up
you
for
should
you.
get the recipe. So we started making oatmeal. Oatmeal can be so boring, right? And then, of course, there is those little sugary, like, packets of oatmeal that you put in the microwave. And I wanted, a few years ago, we eat oatmeal a lot. So a few years ago, I'm like, I am so darn tired of oatmeal. So then I started creating some recipes to spice up regular oatmeal. So that's where peaches and cream came in, was to have a different option or a different flavor to just regular yogurt. And it's super simple. You just cook up your rolled
Regular yogurt?
your regular oatmeal. So you just whip up your oatmeal. It's so quick to cook oatmeal. Drew put the recipe in the link there. And then I always add some honey or some maple syrup while it's cooking with some vanilla. Just give it a little pop. And then you put yogurt and berries on, or yogurt and peaches on top. That's it. So good. We like almond yogurt. That's our favorite. Almond-based yogurt. As opposed to dairy yogurt. It's just a little bit easier to digest on the tummy.
Dorothy finds it on sale every once in a while, and she goes crazy.
Yeah, we only buy it on sale because dairy-free yogurts are a bit more expensive than your regular, what do you say, cow's milk yogurt or regular yogurt?
Dairy yogurt?
Dairy yogurt. So I always wait until the dairy-free yogurt, my favorite one, Kite Hill almond yogurt, when it goes on sale, and then I grab it. So then we have a yogurt fix for a few weeks, and then done. So
I'm gonna wait for it to go on sale again.
mm-hmm.
It's delicious, though. You gotta try that recipe. So we were gonna talk about eating for energy today.
Mm-hmm.
That's our topic. I feel like I have to check to see if this thing's on. Are you guys still there? If you're enjoying the show, hit that little heart button. We have 7 so
7
far.
hearts. Come on, guys, we can
Cheer.
do better. So, eating for energy is our topic that we wanted to talk about today. And I think it's so eye-opening just to say, like, eating for energy, because that is the purpose of food. To heal and fuel our body and to give us energy. But I think over so many years, or now in this time, we have gotten so far away from that concept of eating for energy. And because there's so many things going on, like hype, noise, like 10-day fixes and lose weight this and all of these different ideas and marketing things going on, we've gotten so far away from eating for energy, right? And when we eat, we have so much fear around food and so much fear around eating. And if we bring it back to eating for energy, it's so simple.
Yeah, and I think it's based around, like, our eating issues is based around fear, like Dorothy was saying, and like we're scared of everything.
Everything.
Like, we're scared of fats, we're scared of carbs, we're scared of fruit because there's sugar in it. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, just eat food. But the problem is we don't eat food anymore. Like, we go to the fast food place and we go to the drive-thru, or we eat out 4 or 5 times a week, not considering how much it costs. Then we don't have money to go see a nutritionist or a naturopath or to go to the gym, and we don't realize what we're spending money on a regular basis. And I was thinking, like, how many times do we go out and, like, have a drink, for example? Like, sometimes some people do that every day. And, like, think about how much that adds up. Or people that go on the weekend and spend like $20 at the bar, $30, or you buy a 12-pack of beer, and it's just so like our perspective of everything around nutrition and food is so like distorted. And I think that if we were to really understand like that food is the essence of life, and it gives us our energy, it controls our mood, it helps us feel better about ourselves, it gives us energy, then I think we might have a better idea of like spending your money on good quality foods, or a night out, or fast food, or like 2 pieces of white bread with a piece of bologna in the middle, and considering that food.
You know, Drew, because you kind of connected finances there, Drew has a good friend, Steve, and he's a financial guy. And he wrote this article or put this post up on Facebook that said if you were to have a coffee every day for 30 years, it would be $1 million. Like if you had your
I don't remember the article. I can't help it.
But anyway,
it's compounded.
If you bought a coffee, which a lot of us do every single day, over 30 years of your life, you would have spent $1 million on coffee. Now I'm assuming it's like the fancy types of coffee that he was referring to, like the $5-6 lattes and yada yada yada. But that just blew my mind. And I mean, I know 30 years is a long time, but we always talk about routines and habits, and if we get into that habit of having a coffee every single day and buying one every single day, holy smoly, all of a sudden 30 years goes by and you spend $1 million on coffee.
That's crazy, right? But we don't consider that.
No.
Even if you're spending $5 a day on coffee, that's $35 a week. So $35 times 4. Anyone want to do the math? It's like almost $150 a month on like a coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And people are, and then you can get a gym membership for like $50, or like our membership when we do meal planning, recipes, fitness routines is $79. And some people will go and spend $150 on a coffee a month. And then they would say, I can't afford to go to the gym, or I can't afford to hire a personal trainer, or to go to a fitness class, all the while not understanding where their money's going.
Drew, I'd just like to say that you did really quick mental math.
Thank you.
Drew's really good at math.
Oh, thank you. You know what the thing is? We had this conversation, and I was growing up in the school system, which I have a very hard time with. I was always told like I couldn't do math. Like I never got good grades. I never had the confidence in math. In school, I struggled in school in general. I think most entrepreneurs do. Oh, I think most entrepreneurs struggle in school because the school system wants you to do it this way. Like you have to do it this way. This is the way everyone has to do it for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Dorothy taught
well, there's a structure and there's a system and there's, I don't want to call it regulations, but there's curriculum to follow, right?
Right, and I was like, even to this day, if someone was like, you have to do this way, I'll struggle with it. But if you say you can do it however you want, just get it done, then I'll excel. And I can probably do it faster than most. So throughout my schooling, I was always got horrible grades. And I remember one time, I don't know if I ever told you this, I was struggling with the times table. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
I was struggling with the times table.
Still don't know my times tables.
So my mom came to the principal and she's like, "What? Like, Drew's studying every day. He's doing his homework." I worked hard in school. I still didn't do well. But so we went to the principal's office, and the principal was like, kind of, we were talking back and forth, and he's like, "Okay, what's 4 times 4?" And I was like, 16. And he was like, and he was like ringing them off. He was like, "What's 9 times 9? 7 times 2?" And I was like giving him the answers, and then he was like, He's like, "I don't understand. Like, why aren't you, or like, where do you say you're struggling?" But then when it came to writing tests or problem solving, it just didn't connect my brain. I just thought that was interesting because it was like, if it's like mental math like we're talking about now, I'm pretty good at it, and I'm only just realizing this within the last year. And we're like doing math, and I would never even try before. I would just grab my calculator. But we've been doing more math and numbers with magnesium, and we're doing more stuff with our business and trying to figure out percentages and a return on our investment, like all this business stuff that I kind of ignored in the past because I was always like, oh, I'm horrible at math. But we were in two different situations, and I was like doing math in my head, and the other person was like, oh, okay, and they're like when they're like pulling out their calculator. So I think that's like we continually tell ourselves stories that aren't true because in childhood, whether it was a family member or a parent or a teacher, like, or our own experience, we feel like that's our truth, but it's not. Like, it was just a lie someone told us way back when, and then we believe it all these years later, and it doesn't ring true in many different scenarios.
And that applies to many different areas other than math, right?
Yeah, like I can't, like a lot of people will come back, I can't lose weight. And like, well, what have you done to try? In many cases, it's nothing. Like, I've tried a weekend fast. And like, well, you haven't really put in the effort to lose weight, so you don't know if you can or not. Right? Yeah, I think it's really mental. I remember I was training someone one time, and we were doing a grip strength test because they wanted to do some pull-ups and they wanted to do some CrossFit stuff, and they were hanging, and I timed them. And then she kind of fell. She was like, oh, and she was all disappointed. And she actually did really good, and I was impressed. And I didn't get a chance to say anything. She just says, oh man, she fell, and she's like, my grip strength's never been good. And I'm like,
what are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I said to her, I was like, who told you that? And she's like, oh, I don't know. Like, I've been in other classes and had other instructors, and like I've never done well with it. And I was like, well, yours is better than most that I work with. So whoever told you that was giving you false information. But then she was continually giving herself false information for years.
Yeah.
But then it becomes true. Because every time you go and do that, you say to yourself, oh, I don't have good grip strength, for example. And then you believe that, so you give up earlier than you could.
So getting back on our topic, I actually think it leads nicely into our topic because eating for energy, we, like all of, like what Drew was saying, all those lies that we continually tell ourselves become our truths. So if we can just change our mindset into eating for energy as opposed to whatever our mind is telling us, then, or the lies that continually go on in our head, then we can change our whole outlook on food.
So do you want to start with why don't we talk about the fear of carbs?
I wanted to talk about that, but I also wanted to talk about the breakfast one too. Which one do you want to start with?
I just recommended which one I wanted to start with. Okay. You know what Dorothy does? This happens all the time. We're like, there'll be like two things. And this is a joke with one of our friends. I don't know who it was. Was it Shauna?
I don't remember.
I think it was Shauna and Dave.
I'm not sure what you're...
They give two options, and then you say one thing, and they say the other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It happens.
But you didn't give two options. He just says, I want to start with the fear of carbs. And I said, well, I want to start with breakfast.
I'm talking about another scenario.
Oh, you're talking about something different.
A different scenario. Like, you're like, give two options. And I'm like, that one. And I'm like, okay, it's this one.
Why do you even ask me, he says.
That's what I say all the time. Okay, you can start with breakfast.
Nope, you start with carbs.
So for carbs, it's always one macronutrient. So 4 macronutrients. The nerdy science end of it, macronutrients is just a long word for categorization or categories of food. So there's healthy fats, there's proteins, antioxidants, and Carbs.
Usually antioxidants gets missed. There's not too many, I suppose, people that talk about or fear the antioxidant category. Right. We're usually obsessed with one. We're either super obsessed with protein, like, I gotta get enough protein. Like, how much protein have I had? Oh my gosh, I need protein. Or there's the fear of carbs, and then also fats, like healthy fats get a bad name. But then antioxidants kind of just fall by the wayside and aren't even most of the time aren't even considered into a meal.
Yeah, because we don't think about it. You can't. It's hard to weigh like a bowl of lettuce,
Right.
or you can't count the calories. So most people are like counting protein, or they're counting carbs or fats. But you have a bowl of salad, and they're like, I can't count that,
Yeah.
and they ignore it or don't even like stop putting vegetables on their plate to begin with. But you need the antioxidants, you need the fiber, you need to help with digestion, you need the absorption. So we always miss that, and we feel it's the most important
one.
Macronutrient that no one's talking about.
Yeah. So, like you said, we usually are obsessed with at least one of the macronutrients, and carbs is one that a lot of people fear. And I think it comes down to proper education. We don't understand haven't been taught how to properly fuel our bodies with carbs. All carbs are bad, right?
Well, I personally think it stems from Atkins.
Right.
Like, that was such a big thing in the 80s?
Probably, yeah. 80s, 90s. Probably late 80s, early 90s. I'm thinking early 90s.
I think people are starting to move away from it, but then you have, like, keto coming in, like, strong. And there's definitely health benefits to it, but we also feel there's drawbacks to it as well. So anyways, I think because no one ate the carbs because Atkins in the 80s, I think the 2000s is going to be like no one's eating carbs because of keto.
Because of keto.
That's going to be the new Atkins, if it's not already. But anyways, there's definitely benefits to eating carbs. We eat carbs all the time. And some people are absolutely terrified of them. They won't have any. And we work with people daily. We see people's meal plans, their food. And we're like, where's the carbs? But we don't feel like you can get the results that you need by not properly getting all the macronutrients in your day, especially when it comes to energy.
Yeah, and the results we're talking about is energy, improving your energy, proper digestion, for example, and then metabolism, boosting your metabolism. We feel that, or through our research, through our experience, through testing on our own bodies, that you need a combination of all 4 macronutrients to achieve those results. So to improve your energy, to sleep better, to have proper bowel movements and digestion, stomach things for it all to flow. And we need a nice balance of all of the macros because they work together. They're like a little family.
Shauna says yes, 2 options. Thanks, Shauna. Thanks for letting us know there's still people here.
Watching.
Do you guys have, maybe we can get a question going here. Do you guys have any macronutrient in particular that you try to avoid or that you try to get more of? That's a good question. If you have the courage.
Yeah. Well,
share with
most people, when it comes to proteins, for example, we're usually obsessed with getting enough protein. We need the most protein. And we found that out through our whole Complete Truth Protein extravaganza. Because people would just pick up our bag. How much protein is it? And we're thinking, well...
it's not just a protein.
It's not just a protein, right? And trying to explain the value of a balance of all the macros was really difficult in a world of protein obsessions.
And I was the same way. I grew up as an athlete. Like, I was always playing something, doing something, and it's insane. Like, they pushed protein on us. They said, get your protein in. You have to get enough protein. They didn't say the source or where it came from. They used to get protein. If you want to build muscle, if you want to be a better athlete. And they're like, it's a bunch of nonsense. I gotta tell you, Dave was actually just telling me about a new documentary that came out. And it's like a bunch of professional athletes that don't eat any meat proteins at all.
Oh, cool.
And it's not like, and it's not like hidden. It's not knowledge that's not openly out there. I think it's that we don't want to know some things. Like, we don't want to, like, some people are like, oh, I have to get my protein in. It's always interesting to me when you order like a salad or you order something from a restaurant. They're like, what kind of protein would you like? Did you like shrimp, fish,
steak,
chicken? And I'm like, how about some hemp seeds?
Got
What?
quinoa? Have some quinoa. But it's interesting because I'm not sure if everybody knows this, but when I used to compete in fitness competitions, that's a whole show on its own as to getting off of that. But protein was a big obsession in that world, and it's crazy how your environment plays such a huge role in your obsessions, I suppose. So
But he
when
was
I
obsessed.
when I was in that world, in that bodybuilding fitness world, it was a protein obsessed world, and it was crazy how I got caught up in it. So we talk about environment a lot, and how having a supportive environment and having people around you that are on a similar lifestyle journey is so important, because it took me so long after my years in that world. It took me so long to get off that train, that protein.
No, you still on it.
And sometimes I still am on it. Like the other day, we were having a salad, and I was like, I need eggs. And she was like, you don't need eggs in this salad. And I was like, I just need a protein. There's no protein in this salad. And she was like, you don't need it. And I'm like, yes, I do. And I whipped up some eggs. And so I still fall back into that world at times, or into that obsession. So it's very difficult to get out of. But if you surround yourself in a different environment that's on the same goals or in the same journey as you are, it's really helpful.
I could say a ton about that, but I'll just let it go. Shauna says it's about balancing. A balance.
It's about a balance and maintaining a healthy lifestyle.
That's right,
so
Shauna.
True.
John.
Just curious, what does proper digestion look like? Ooh, great question. I love talking about digestion because I had so much trouble with digestion, which was probably rooted in my protein obsession from my body fitness or my fitness competition days. I completely destroyed my digestion system or digestion tract.
Digestive system.
My digestion system.
Digestive.
Digestive system. And we believe it's from my years of protein obsession and being in the bodybuilding or the fitness world. But anyway, like Drew said, we could go on about that for a while. But, so proper digestion would mean having bowel movements every day. Number one, a lot of us aren't having bowel movements every day. And when we talk about bowel movements, it's kind of, we're used to it now, but it's kind of a difficult topic for some people to talk about. But we shouldn't be having diarrhea. We shouldn't be constipated. We should be having a nice, comfortable bowel movement every day if we have proper nutrition and proper digestion. We get so accustomed to, for example, like I was saying, my digestive system was so messed up. I hadn't had a proper bowel movement in years, and I got so complacent with having diarrhea or being constipated that I thought that was normal. I didn't know what it was like to have proper bowel movements. So no difficulty going to the bathroom would be proper digestion.
So there's different sides to that. So usually when we start working with someone, they're like, oh my gosh, is there something wrong? I'm going to the bathroom all the time. So most people don't have a bowel movement every morning. Like every morning, like your intestines, like everything inside is relaxed, and you should have had just 7 hours of sleep roughly. Like your body should be ready to release a proper bowel movement. So when that happens, people on a regular basis, people are scared. They're like, what's happening?
Going on? I'm pooping all the time.
They're like, what's happening to my body? This is not normal. And it's not normal to most people, but it should become your normal.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've had some people that were like, oh, my stool is a little loose. And we're like, well, is it diarrhea? And they're like, no. Like, well, are you constipated? No.
You're in the zone.
So in most cases, that's a good thing, because a lot of times people are constipated and they sit there on the toilet for, like, you sit there, you have no bowel movements for 3 days, and then you go and you finally one comes and you sit there for a half hour, and then finally you can get something out. So that's not something we're looking for. And then also, like, I have some friends that don't eat well, and they'll eat fast food regularly, and they'll eat low quality foods, and they have like 2 or 3 movements a day that's like very loose.
Diarrhea.
Like close to diarrhea.
Yeah.
That's not a proper bowel movement either. So after you eat, like if you have, like Chinese food gets a bad rap because they like load on the MSG so it looks pretty.
Directly to the bathroom.
So a lot of people, like Dorothy, will have that food and her body will know right away if there's MSG in there and she'll have diarrhea.
Right away. That's what it's just like, it's crazy how quick it is. Like your body knows there's a toxin and it's got to get rid of it. So I can't leave the Chinese restaurant if I don't have a bathroom first. But anyway, that's TMI. So proper digestion would be having regular, comfortable bowel movements. And also, I don't know how to say it, but when you have like...
We're trying to get it.
I'm trying to say, like, if you're experiencing proper digestion, you wouldn't have bloating, cramps, heartburn. Like,
gas.
Those are gas.
Indigestion.
Is that heartburn? Indigestion?
I think it's similar.
Okay, so those would be all signs that you are not digesting your food properly. And the opposite to all of those is energy, right? If your body is properly digesting your food, then it's going to turn your food into energy. So it's utilizing the nutrients from your food and turning it into energy. If it doesn't know if you're putting less than processed food and junk into your body, it doesn't know how to, it's foreign to your body, and your body doesn't know how to use it. So that's why you're getting gas. That's why you're getting bloating and indigestion, because your body's freaking out and saying, I don't know what to do with this stuff. So that's a good gauge too, is your energy level. Digestion energy level.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to tell. Like, if you're eating a couple times a day, your digestion probably isn't going. Like, you have to continually put food in your body for your digestion to work properly. And that's when it goes back to, like, when we're talking about putting, like, fiber in your body through, like, good quality foods. There's something on my lip. Thanks for the heads up there. I think
Don't finish that hemp seed on your lip?
I think I have some yogurt on my lip.
I didn't see it.
I completely lost my train.
You were talking about
So
like eating on a regular basis, more than twice a day.
For our gut and our intestines to work properly, we have to put fuel in there. We have to put food. We have to put fibrous foods in our body. We have to put the antioxidants we're talking about. So if you're not having greens, if you're not having salads, if you're not eating at least 3 times a day, which is the very minimum, we like to recommend 4 or 5 times a day. Like, put some good quality foods in your body that will change or transfer into energy. Then there's a 95% chance your digestion is not where it should be.
Mm-hmm. And if you're kind of confused about antioxidants, when we talk about antioxidants, we're talking about colorful food. So greens, for example, like vegetables, green vegetables. We're talking about blueberries, right? Blue, like all of the colors, yellows,
Red.
Oranges, reds. So tomatoes, red peppers. Antioxidant is your colorful category, because when we look at proteins, there's no color in proteins. They're white or brown. When we look at carbs, same thing, like quinoa, brown rice, there's no color in those. And healthy fats as well, there's no color. I mean, unless it's avocado, it's green. But coconut oil, almonds, walnuts, like, there's no color. So we need that antioxidant category, that color category. And we always say, count your colors, not your calories. So make sure that throughout the day, you are getting all of the colors of the rainbow. There's actually a little song that goes, today I ate a rainbow, a rainbow, a rainbow. Today I ate a rainbow, and I feel great. I used to sing that in grade 1 when I was teaching the kids about how to fuel their body, because a lot of the children in grade 1, that I taught grade 1 for 10 years, a lot of the children, they didn't know about food or how to feel good after eating, right? So over lunchtime, I would take that 15, 20 minutes to talk about food with them and engage with them about food. And it was a lot of times the best 15 minutes of the day. And I would sit and eat with them so that they could see like what I was eating. And some funny stories come up when they saw my food.
Yeah, well, it's kind of crazy. Like, there's so many people that we run into that haven't tried foods. Like,
right.
I don't know what do you eat? Like, I suppose they're like so different for us because we go to the produce. Like, most of our food in our fridge is fruit or veggies. Like, that's what we mostly have. And sometimes we run into people that have never had an avocado. They've never had an artichoke. Or they're like, what is that? Or how do you eat it? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh man, like, I feel like we're missing out on so many pleasures of life by not trying different foods. And then you have people that are like, no, not trying that. Like, no, not interested. Like, how do you have an open mind and try to evolve in life and in health by being so close-minded you're not willing to try anything?
Mm-hmm. And we, like Drew was saying about the grocery store, we spend the majority of our time in the produce section. We don't buy meat, right? We don't go to the meat section, and there's very few things in the aisles that we need. Like, sometimes we need rice, or sometimes we need beans, or frozen fruit, or something like that, but we rarely go into the aisles. Mm-hmm. It's interesting.
Shauna says, eat a rainbow.
Yeah!
A great thing to teach kids.
You should teach that one to Max, Shauna, that little song.
Ooh, you guys should play it together and then share it with us.
It's so easy. Today I ate a rainbow. Sing it. Today I ate a rainbow, a rainbow, a rainbow. Today I ate a rainbow and I feel great. I miss singing.
You miss singing? Have you guys seen Dorothy's videos? She's out of control.
I did a lot, like, I'm not a great... Hey, we were just talking about the stories you tell yourself, and here I am saying I'm not a great singer. I love to sing. I was in drama club in high school, and I loved being on stage, loved singing, loved acting, all of those things. But I guess the story that I always told myself was that I wasn't good at it. But when I started teaching, I used that passion of singing and acting in the classroom to teach the kids. So and teaching a second language is difficult to do if you're not animated and you're not teaching through song is so powerful, especially with the little ones. So I did a lot of singing in my grade 1 classroom, and then of course I missed it, missed singing. So that kind of was one thing that sparked my new videos, singing videos.
Dorothy loves her videos. Yeah, she's so good at it, and she won't give herself credit for them. So we have a new song. We have a new song coming out
Tuesday. Every Tuesday we put out a new song on my page.
So she's loving it, and it's fun. I've been enjoying it too. And Dorothy does it 100%. Like, I give her some ideas. So I gave her. We were rocking out in the car, and we're trying to find of course popular songs so other people know the songs as well, so they can sing along or recognize them. And I picked one out, and then we go through it and we pick a couple verses, and then we change some of the words, and she'll do it in 10 minutes, and she'll have it done. And so the last one was her first take, and she did it fine. And then I picked a new one. I was like, okay, because the last couple have been last minute. Which is fine because she can handle it. But then we did another one. We found another one. I was like, let's start thinking about the next one so we're not behind on Tuesday. Because Dorothy gets all frazzled and crazy.
Don't like it being behind.
So another song came on the radio. We're not telling you guys yet. You got to watch. And I was like, let's do that one. So we both kind of throw around words and we maybe brainstorm a bit. And then in 10 minutes, she'll rehearse it 20 times, 50 times in a 10-minute spin, and she'll be done. And it's over with. And I'm like, that's not normal. It would take me a week to do that. She can just do it. And she's like, I'm not very good at it. Shut your mouth.
I did grow up in a really musical family, though. My family's really talented in music and art. And I feel like I got either of those. Music or art. My brother's a really good artist, although he doesn't practice his art. Would you say that anymore? Like, he's not an artist anymore. I mean, he's always going to be an artist at heart, but he's not pursuing that right now. And then my grandpa was a musician, and my dad can just pick up any instrument and a song comes out. Like, so I did have that. We were always dancing. We were always singing. The music was always on. Growing up, we had a record player, and the music was always on. We were always jiving. So I think that is part of the influence as well.
And she's like, I don't know. I always ask her about this, like, who told you you're not a good artist? Because she'll sit down with Shauna or her friend Christine, and her art is good. Like, and she's creative, but she always says, "Oh, it's not good," or she's like, "Oh, I'm not a very good singer," but she can sing. Like, I mean, you might have to take some voice lessons if you want to get on American Idol, but she can sing better than better than like a lot of people. Like for me, I'm like, I would sound like a cat being strangled in the back of an alley if I like tried to sing. But Dorothy can actually sing, and she's been doing it for years with the kids as well. So it's that mindset we talked about, and it's not easy. We deal with it too.
We do, yeah.
You have to like continually remind yourself, like, I am good at this. I can do this.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to change your mindset, and it takes time. You have to be really patient with yourself if you are trying to change your mindset in some way. And you always like have to bring yourself back if you get kind of off path, which it's like always on the grind. Always working on it.
John. Read it.
John says, sorry, I was reading in my head. I wasn't sharing out loud. Your singing video should have Drew in the background dancing the sprinkler. Very clever. Your new singing videos, by the way. Thank you for watching.
I don't know what the sprinkler is. Is it this one?
Yep. I think so. Is that it, John? The sprinkler? Drew is getting more into it. You've appeared on 2 videos now.
Right? You know, it's hard. Like, yeah. It's hard. Like, it's hard to put yourself out there. Like, when I started out in radio, it was hard. It was like a struggle every day. And I've been doing it for 8 years, but it was like probably 3 years of doing a show every week before it got easier. And like live videos, when we used to sit here and do live videos, like we're fortunate to have our monthly membership group. We're usually experiment and give them our first
trials.
I don't know if that's a punishment. Sorry, guys. But we usually do stuff with them first, so we had like a private group to practice. But when we did these live videos, we did, first of all, we did recorded videos. Yeah. Which was challenging. I put Dorothy in front of there the first couple of times, and she was like this.
He's like, say something. I'm like, I didn't know what to say.
I'm like,
well, you read it down.
Yeah. I'm like, what's wrong with you? When I put the record button, she's like a different person. So of course now it's different. We've evolved and gotten better. And then it went to live videos, and we're like, oh, like it's hard. You have to continually train yourself, and you have to continue to practice. So, and now Dorothy's doing these videos, and like I feel like I was better at the more serious videos, and now she's better at these videos. So like we're evolving, our business is changing, but for me to like do those like kind of crazy things, it's so hard. Like it's completely out of my element. Of course, I'm fortunate to have Dorothy because she's wacky all the time.
I think that was a compliment. John says that's it. So we need to see your sprinkler again.
Okay, I'm going to do it in the background. Actually, I think we're going to get Dave in one of our videos. I don't know if he's still here, but he's going to come in one of our videos, and he has a handful of dance moves, too.
Mm-hmm. Shauna says, Dorothy is a good artist. We had so much fun creating a tile. You should show it.
We should go get your
tile. Should I go get it? I am very lucky to have very supportive friends who are encouraging and positive. Are you going to get it?
No.
Oh, I'm going to get it. Okay, I'll go get it.
I'll read this. John says, I have that image of Drew dancing. This sprinkler burned in my brain from a boys' trip we all took in Kelowna many moons ago.
So you know this sprinkler.
Shh, John. Shh.
You were just pretending.
Don't share those stories.
This is my art tile that I did with Shauna. Here, hold it for a second.
Yeah, it's very good. Like I would.
It was so much fun.
It's good. It's good. You know what's helpful is when you have good teachers.
Yes.
So we're fortunate. I haven't done art with Shauna yet, but I've done art with Christina. She's a good teacher.
Yeah,
So obviously Shauna's a good teacher. Otherwise, you wouldn't come up with this.
that's right.
But yeah, she came back and she's like, oh, she's like, it's not very good. I'm kind of disappointed. And I was like, she brought it out. I was like, is that yours? I thought it was from a store. I thought this was one that she was copying and she was gonna show me hers.
Yeah, because Shauna was so kind and she sent it in the mail to me because I left it at Shauna's place to dry and she had to do some, I don't know what you call it, Shauna. She had to put a coating on it to so it can stay pretty. How does you call that word?
Maybe Shauna knows.
Anyway, so it came in the mail and Drew's like, open it, and because she had it all nicely in bubble wrapped, and I'm like, well, Drew hadn't seen it yet. Well, it's okay, Drew, but it's not that good. And then I opened it, and he's like, this one's yours.
So anyways, it sits up in the bathroom now. It's a nice piece of art next to some of Shauna's art.
Something cool that Shauna's doing now is she's doing small tiles, alcohol ink on small tiles. I can't remember the size, and making them into magnets.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yes. Oops, I hope I was allowed to say that, Shauna. Hope it wasn't like a secret.
Shauna says that.
Seal it. That's it. That's it.
John says, shh. Yes, shh, John. I was a bit crazy in my younger days. Usually late nights, and there was some alcoholic beverages involved.
In your younger days.
We'll save those stories for another time.
Oh,
Friends.
and UV protective. Four sprays. 4 layers of spray. It was a big process for Shauna to
Friend says it's
Yeah.
preserve it.
to preserve it from the light so it doesn't fade.
4 layers of spray. John says that's cool.
Thank you.
It's show and tell.
Show and tell.
You guys have to show pictures of your art in the comments.
Because you had show and tell last week, I had show and tell this week.
Last week I showed my new longboard, and Dorothy's like, I didn't know it was show and tell.
I'll show and tell.
She's like,
You
I
didn't
didn't-
tell me.
She's like, I didn't bring anything.
Oh, I love show and tell at school. You know, it's so cute because the kids, we had show and tell every day. Like, I would always have a leader of the day to be my assistant. Anyway, but they would get to bring a show and tell item in, and it's so cute because they bring sometimes the funniest things, like maybe they bring a little rock and they're like, so this is my rock. But they're so proud of their little rock. Like, I found it outside in my yard. It looks like a dinosaur. Like, they're just so proud of this little rock. And most kids didn't bring in huge, expensive, fancy things. It was this is my safety pin. Just these little tiny treasures. It was just, I love show and tell. It was the best.
We got a couple of comments here. John said,
I'm reading.
where are you today?
Just gave me an idea for a bunch of leftover white tiles I have.
What are you going to do with it, John?
You can make tile art.
Are you going to make tile art?
Yeah.
I would like to see some of your tile art. Uh-oh, you're in trouble.
Ah!
Are you going to read it?
Oh, I did leak it.
Shauna says you leaked it, but that's okay. Ready for October show.
Aww. Sorry, Shauna. I was like, oh crap, after I said it. It was probably a surprise. I'm so bad at surprises.
There's only a few people in here, Shauna. We won't tell anyone
We won't
else.
tell anyone else.
Awesome, John. Do you know how to do that? I wouldn't know how to do that.
Are you going to use alcohol inks, John?
What do you think? Should we wrap things up?
Sure. What? Yeah.
You having fun? No?
I'm having fun.
Jody's
Like, no, don't go, not yet.
We can hang out here. I suppose when it comes, we're talking about eating for energy, and I think when it comes down to it, if I could say the very basics of eating for energy is if you put good quality foods in your body,
they will turn into energy at a much higher rate. So you'll be able to utilize, digest, and absorb good quality foods much better than you would low quality foods. So if you're having processed foods, if you're having like sugary, if you're having cookies and crackers and potato chips, the things that we know we shouldn't be having, like it's not, I mean, I feel like it's common knowledge. It's like it's not a secret, but I don't think we put those together. So a lot of times people are like, "Oh, I have no energy. Like I don't know what's wrong with me. It's like my thyroid or my hormones." And like, it's your food.
Eat some food.
Eat some food. Like, so we look at a food journal and it's like no, like they'll have like a snack at 10 a.m. and maybe it's like a coffee and a pastry, or a bagel and cream cheese. And then at 1 o'clock they have a huge meal. And then they're like, oh my gosh, like here comes the afternoon crash. Like they have a huge meal, and then they're like 3 o'clock and like struggling to get through the day. And then you're working, you got to run around with the kids, and it's 6, 7 o'clock at night, and then you have a giant, so you have no food, no fuel, you have a giant meal, and then your digestive system is like, why do you hate me? Why do you keep abusing me like this? And we don't put it together. Like we don't put it together like you are not doing anything for your energy levels or digestive system by treating your body this way.
Mm-hmm. So we need to be eating for energy. We need to be eating, I think Drew mentioned it earlier, but we need to be eating consistently throughout the day. We need to have breakfast. And there's a lot of people that we talk to, oh, I can't eat breakfast, it hurts my stomach, or I don't digest breakfast well. But we need to have something first thing in the morning to get our metabolism going and basically wake up your digestive system in the morning. And then we need to be snacking. Like we need to be snacking throughout the day to keep it all moving. Keep the digestion system train moving.
Well, you know what the thing is people like, oh, it's like a vicious circle.
Yeah.
It's like they have no energy, so they get themselves like an energy drink. My gosh, stop the madness if you're drinking energy drinks. And then, or you have like a coffee, and in the coffee there's like cream and sugar and who knows what else. And then of course there's the caffeine. So you give yourself a natural boost of energy, and then, sorry, not natural. You give yourself a boost of energy through like synthetic
chemicals.
Thank you. And with synthetic sources, there's always a crash. And something interesting you guys might want to know is that if you're drinking coffee with caffeine in it, that's depleting your magnesium as well. So not only is it a diuretic, however you want to say it, stripping liquid, but it's just dehydrating us. We're actually stripping magnesium, the little that we have, if you're not supplementing. So you're stripping it from your body as well, so you need more magnesium and you need more liquid. Like we just continually abuse our bodies. So what I was saying is we get this unnatural boost of energy through caffeine and through sugar, and there's always a crash. If it's synthetic, there's always a crash without question. So then we do it again, then we have like a pastry, or we have like a donut, like, oh, I need some food, my blood sugars are low, so we go and get ourselves like a donut or a pastry, and we have another coffee in the afternoon. So we get this, we get another boost of energy, and then comes a crash. Instead of being like, if I put some good quality foods in my body consistently throughout the day, you're going to have high energy all the time.
All day.
And you're going to look like this. It's crazy.
Because I wasn't always like this, you guys, this high energy. In fact, when I first started out my teaching career, I was much like Drew has just described. Like, didn't eat breakfast, 10 a.m. scrounging for some fake energy, like coffee or, something.
When I met Dorothy, she would go get like Bean Brokers every morning.
So Bean Brokers is our little local coffee shop in Olds. And I would get the muffin of the day and the coffee. Basically every day. Basically every day. And then I was young and just starting out my career. So I had like every minute throughout my day without kids was spent on planning and preparing. So I didn't eat, and I might have had like a little bag of veggies by the photocopier, or I might have had crackers and cheese as I'm walking down the hall, but I never ate throughout the day. And then when I came home from school, I would be so depleted of energy, I wouldn't make supper.
You'd be too tired to make supper.
I'd be too tired to make supper. So I know this much is true, like eating for energy, the way that we teach works and is so true because I started there. Like that person that Drew described was me. So I know it's works, and I know that it's true because I lived it.
I remember this conversation very clearly, and we were talking about nutrition with Dorothy and food, and like we had this conversation, and it's the same conversation we've had thousands of times over the last 8 years. I've been running this business, and I would say, like what's breakfast? Coffee and a muffin. Then I say, well, what's lunch? And she's like, well, I would have sometimes I would have some like hummus and veggies, and I'm like, well, what do you have for lunch? Because that's like a
crackers
snack
and cheese.
meal. And like, it's for lunch. She's like, well, sometimes I have crackers and cheese, and I'm like, well, where's lunch? And then she's like, well, that is my lunch. I'm like, oh. And like, well, what do you have for dinner? She's like, well, I don't always have dinner. Like, sometimes I have a bag of popcorn. And I'm like, how are you alive?
There was no food in the fridge.
There was no food in the cupboards. It was like, there was like a few like boxes of crackers and like those microwave popcorn things.
It's true. That's where my journey started. And a lot of people, because we are so invested, I suppose, in what we do now and so passionate about it, people think that I've lived this way my whole life. Oh, you must have like eaten really healthy throughout your childhood, and you must
make excuses for you.
You
right?
must have had like parents who prepared really super healthy meals. Were your parents vegetarian? Like, no, actually,
we ate pizza pockets like everybody else, and Pop-Tarts, and pastry strudels.
But not only that, but like my journey. When you look at it, my journey started about 10 or so years ago. Like, it's not that long, because for the majority, if you look at the majority of my life, I was where most people come to us starting. Mm-hmm. But because I'm so far on the other side now, people think that I've always been there. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
Lots of work.
We got a few comments here. Thanks for the comments, guys. If you're enjoying the show, hit that hearts button. That always helps us out as well. Shauna says, good topic.
Oh, thanks. Shauna also said that about her art, hoping to have 10 sets complete, sets of 4. And I just wanted to say, count us down for a set. Because of the little magnets.
Oh, this one here.
Yeah.
Hoping
Dibs.
All right, we'll take one.
Dibs.
Anyone else want one? I was going to put a post up about your cards, about Shauna's cards, and I wasn't going to ask. And she's like, no, don't do that yet. So I'm glad I asked. But if you want us to share any of that, Shauna, let us know. But we'll take one for sure.
And then Fran says, I find that TriMeg gives me a massive amount of energy, and I find that I've had the wherewithal to tackle projects that I've put off for years. That's awesome.
Awesome, Fran. Thanks for sharing with us. It's so exciting to hear news like that. And I suppose it's slowing down a little bit, but we still get messages like that, and people are still excited about TriMeg. So getting these new messages, and we have a private group as well if anyone's interested in joining, specifically for TriMeg. Like, it's so exciting to hear messages like that.
Mm-hmm. And Drew and I, like, when we started TrueForm and when we started creating products, it's always been in our hearts to have a purpose for each product and to improve lives and to improve people's health and give them the best quality, because you deserve that. And it's never been like about profit or anything like that. We've always put our people first. So I think that's why it means so much to us as well, like when we see all of these results come in, because that's what's in our hearts, is helping others improve their lives one drop at a time. Huh?
That's what I gave you for oils.
I know, but I was like, magnesium's kind of a drop.
It is. Okay, we're taking it back.
We're taking it back for magnesium. John says, truth be told, I've got a lot of work to do when it comes to my diet. I still have a lot of crap to remove. Every time I listen to your guys' content, it nudges me closer to my goals. Much love. Aw, thank you.
Awesome, John. Thanks so much. It's nice to hear. Like we can't tell you like how much those mean, because as I was talking about this I'm in this like podcast group. I'm creating a new podcast, and I've been on radio for years, and radio is different than podcasting. So for radio, you usually only hear from like a program director that doesn't like your work, or you hear from someone that complains on the radio, because people are much more willing to get excited and share their complaints than they are to share compliments. So sometimes it's like tireless, like we like constantly putting out work and like shipping. Seth Godin would say, continue to ship your work, ship your art, and then sometimes you don't hear anything back, or it's just complaints, and you're like, man, this is tough. Like, why do I keep shipping my art if it's not being appreciated? So when we hear things like Fran or Shauna is always open with her compliments about what we do, and then John messaged me yesterday, and he was listening to an episode on exploring mind and body, which really means a lot. And then sharing things like this, it really gives us the motivation to keep doing what we do. So thank you guys for that.
Mm-hmm. Fran says, if the food around me isn't good, I'd rather not eat it.
Yeah, and I think that has a lot to do with surrounding yourself with those type of people that have better choices and better options.
Mm-hmm.
It's challenging. Like some people are working in an office. Like when I was going in and out of the radio station, and maybe you experienced this in teaching work, but I never had like a corporate job or like a conventional career. So the radio, having a staff room radio was the closest thing that I knew. And there's always donuts or cookies. And I was like...
in the staff room.
And then, so I can't tell this story real quick. I walked in. I didn't go in there often. I usually just went and recorded my show and left. And I walked into the staff room, and one of the ladies was like just about to take a bite. She's like, of course you walk in right at this time
when I'm eating my donuts.
I was like, I
didn't say. No judgment.
Judgment free zone. I just turned around and walked away. I was like, all right, crazy. I don't care what you eat. It's funny though, because people think like because of
what we do,
we like instantly judge, and we don't. Like,
we don't.
Honestly, we don't care. Like we have this information to share. Like we hope that people are making life changes, but we don't judge if someone's like eating a pizza. Like we don't think it's all that positive. Like, you're not going to make changes in your life, but we're not like, did you see what so-and-so had?
My gosh!
Like, we've got lots of things to do, and that's not one of them.
That's not one.
So we actually just met a new couple, and they're super cool. And we offered to watch their dog because they had to go away for a wedding. So like, oh yeah, we'll take them. We got a nice backyard. And we told them that, what we do. Like, what do you do? Like, oh, we're into nutrition and fitness. And then like, as soon as you say that, it's like, they're like,
oh crap!
Oh crap! I can never have a donut or a
around you
around them again. Like it's instant, and it's not us judging other people; it's other people judging us. I feel like you're those people.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, or people apologizing. That's the one I got a lot. Oh my gosh, like because we would have meetings a lot at school, right? So grade team meetings or different staff meetings, things like that. And I'd go sit down beside someone, and they'd be like, "Oh, so sorry that I'm eating this in front of you," or something like that. It's like, no, you don't have to be sorry. Like, don't apologize. You eat what you want. Like,
eat whatever you want.
You don't have to apologize to me for like eating chips in front of me or whatever it was.
It's completely. I should mention it's completely different if we're like working with someone.
Right.
Like if someone's like, "Can you help me make some changes?" And because we like get emotionally invested.
Yes.
We like really want to help. That's why we do this. So if someone is like working with us and then they post a picture of like their pastry and energy drink,
then we're gonna give them crap.
We're like, that doesn't add up. Like, why do we care more than you do? You know?
Yeah.
So there is a line there, but if it's like friends or strangers or like whatever it is, like if it's not directly like people we're working with, like do whatever you want. Like, we're not going to judge you.
Yeah, because the first action step would be to ask for help. So if you came to us and asked for help and are trusting us or putting your confidence in us to help you make changes, then it's a little different. But what is trying to say? You two are inspiring, knowledgeable, compassionate, doing exactly what you need to do, changing lives one life at a time. Aww. Thanks, Shauna.
Thanks so much, Sean. All right, guys.
I think that's it.
I have an interview at 9
Oh, yeah.
this time, Pacific time, and I'd like to go for a run before that interview
Yes.
starts. Would you like to join me?
I would like to go for a run, too.
All
But
right.
it's funny, because on Wednesday, I was just going to say I'd like to go for a slower run, because on Wednesday,
Street sweepers.
on Wednesday, I ran my little heart out, and I ran so fast, and then I felt it, like, in my knees and things, so I would like to go for a slower run today.
I'm all right with that. Let's see what Fran has to say. We're going to wrap things up here, so stay with us if you feel like it.
My parents are 93 and 92 respectively and eat a Mediterranean diet daily. Have been forever. They both go out daily. That's awesome.
They both go out. Where?
Like I think she's just saying that because of the way that they eat, they are more active, right?
That's awesome, Fran. Like to get up there. I think it's so cool that we have those stories and those things to aspire to.
And one thing is for sure, they both still are able to go forward and put the past behind them. Attitude.
Oh yeah, it means so much.
Yeah.
Attitude, and it's so apparent. Like here, it's crazy. Like I feel like in Alberta. I don't mean to put any Albertans down. Of course, that's our home, but my home.
It's been my home for 10 years.
Like in Alberta, I feel like Fran says they're still active. Oh, I get it. When you
They're
said
still-
still
yeah.
go out.
They still go out. They're still active.
Like-
And
For here, like it's a super active area, but we see people of all ages. Like of all ages, that's the most apparent thing. So you could see like, how old is Jim? He told me. I think he's 70.
I was going to say he's probably around 70.
I'd like to interview him, but I don't think he'd do an interview. But I think he told me he's 70, and we see him. We go on our morning walks. We see him just about every morning, and if we don't see him at around like 4 or 5 in the morning, it's because he's there earlier.
He's already gone done his workout.
And he'll go. He says he does push-ups all day, and he'll do push-ups like a 25-year-old.
Yeah,
He'll
it's insane.
He's like 70, and he's like, he's not like I don't know how to say.
He's like,
He's like a regular person.
mhm.
He's like 70. He probably looks like he's about 50, and he does push-ups. He just does it reps
knocks
up push-ups.
them out.
He'll do like 20 push-ups, then he'll walk, do a
And
little
he's
walking.
talking to Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, like,
Yeah.
like, how's it going, Drew? What
Yeah.
are you up to today? How's your morning walk? Yeah. And he's just like roughing it out,
Mhm.
like talking to Drew. It's crazy.
But so that's just one example. But you see people riding their bikes,
Running, walking,
Yeah, running,
swimming.
playing volleyball, and they're
Mm-hmm.
of all ages. Like I'm sure we've seen an 80 or 90-year-old like riding one of those bikes. You sit down
You sit down and.
and you pedal like this.
But then on the flip side, we've seen kids 10, 12, like running alongside their parents
Mhm.
or younger. Or there's little, there's like school running groups for, 14, 15-year-olds or even high school, 17, 18-year-olds running in groups. And it's just like one end to the other, we're all being active.
And of course, it's specific to this area. It'd be hard to say like other parts of LA or other parts of the country. But anyways, what I was saying is like it seems like from our environment growing up, like you get a little bit older and you slow down. Like I've
Mhm.
actually had people tell us like, "Oh, I'm getting older. I need to slow down a bit." Like, why? Like, like what are you slowing down for? Like the less you move, the less you're going to be able to move.
Right.
So
Ooh, I like that.
like we put on a t-shirt.
Put on a t-shirt.
we have like cold, long winter, so it's more challenging. But in Alberta, but to get out and be active at any age, like it's going to make you younger. It's going to make you healthier. It's going to make you feel better. So having that mindset of the attitude, like Fran was saying there, is like you have to have that and be able to feel like you can still do things.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you're just going to slow down until you're not moving at all.
Right.
And then what do you have?
Mm-hmm. That's all I have to say about that.
If you guys are interested in Complete Truth Protein, we do ship wherever you may be.
Ooh, yes.
We have a couple pickup locations as well in Olds, and then we have some distributors in Alberta as well. This will give you a natural boost of energy because it's real food.
Yes.
Like we talked about for the whole show, it will help your body will be able to utilize, digest, and absorb Complete Truth Protein. And the first thing people tell us, it gives them a natural boost of energy. So,
and that digestion we were talking about earlier, proper bowel movements, all of that, CTP will help you with that as well.
you can throw this in smoothies, you can bake with it. We are coming out
Oh yeah.
with a brand new flavor of CTP. We are super excited about it. It'll be coming soon. We still have some ironing out to do, but we're very excited about it. And we are looking for a small group of
Trial people that want to try the new flavor and give us feedback and help us out.
Yeah, maybe we need to, like, we did the same thing with TriMag, and we did the same thing with my business book. We find, like, a small group of people, maybe 20, 25 people probably for this, we're guessing, that want to try it, can offer feedback. Maybe we need to change a few things, but we always release it to a small private group before to the public.
Yeah, so if you want to be a part of that small group, like Drew said, it's going to be about 20, 25 people. Exclusive group that will try it first. We're not going to release it out to everyone in the beginning. Hey, just let us know if you'd like to be a part of that. It's really fun. We had such a good time with our magnesium trial group.
We did, so we also have magnesium. We're shipping all over. John says, I'd like to try magnesium.
John says, I'd like to try
TriMag.
TriMag. Direct message me later.
Awesome,
You
John.
betcha, John.
I'll get back to you later today, after my interview. Anyways, TriMag gives you a natural boost of energy. Someone actually just said they didn't know TriMag can help with digestion. Without question, if you have constipation, some forms of magnesium were developed specifically for constipation. So, natural boost of energy, most of our products is what we promote and do, is the lifestyle around improving digestion and giving you more natural boost of energy. Fran already talked about how this gave her more energy, and we have tons and tons of feedback coming in about how TriMag has been giving them that natural boost of energy during the day, but also helps them sleep at night, which is like a crazy, awesome combination.
Mm-hmm. Shauna said something up top.
I'll read that in a second.
Okay. Shauna says, I thought the new flavor was TriMag. If CTP, is it chocolate? Count me in on the trial. I did you post it in the right group? We posted yesterday a message to people that we were working on a new flavor.
I didn't say, well, I just said good guess or good idea.
No, but did you post, I'm saying Shauna thought it was for TriMag. Did you post that in the right group?
I don't know. No, I put in the CTP group.
Oh, okay. Not
No.
the TriMag group.
Oh, no, she commented like raspberry something. So, in the CTP group. So, maybe you thought that CTP post was in the TriMag group. Sean,
Yeah.
But that was in the Complete Truth Protein group.
Anyway, that was confusing.
Yeah. The new flavor is for CTP. We have two flavors, mojito and orange with TriMag. We have two different kinds of CTP, and we're working on our third now.
Yeah. So right now we have our unflavored CTPs, just the original natural one for baking, and then our one for smoothies has stevia in it, so it's a bit sweeter, and then it has maca as well. Maca is a root vegetable, and it's ground into a powder here. That's how we get it, but it's known for a natural boost of energy. So it's not synthetic boost of energy. So that's why it's great in smoothies.
Shauna says, oops. It's fine, Shauna.
Oops! No, that's not a problem.
You're in so many of our groups, which we so much appreciate. You probably just thought it was a TriMag question.
Mm-hmm.
At any rate.
Which we aren't stopping at orange and mojito, but...
Shh. Shauna, Dorothy's not very good at hiding secrets, is she?
I'm sorry. I don't do it on purpose, I swear. I just get excited.
It's not a huge secret. We have other things that we're working on, but for now, we'll focus on the new flavor for CTP.
For CTP.
And then one thing I wanted to mention here.
Shauna says, I am more active now than I have ever been. And you look so good, Shauna.
Yeah. You look awesome, Sean. And I brought that on here now because I feel the same way. I feel like I thought like when my baseball career was over that I would like have nothing left.
Oh,
I did like, but that's your identity and that's like all you know. Like I was in.
like when I left teaching.
Yes. Not done yet.
Okay.
So I felt like I wasn't going to be able to do things like athletically or physically, for example. Not that I couldn't. I just thought I wouldn't have any inspiration. I always thought like this is kind of closed-minded statement, but I was always like, why do people work out if they're not playing a sport? I thought that literally. Like why would people work out if they're not? Because the only reason I trained is for baseball. That's all I did. That's the only reason I trained. That's the only reason I did anything. So
he means that.
So I worked out to be a better athlete. So I was like, if they're not being an athlete, what are they working out for? It's funny, but
This sounds crazy.
at any rate, but like for running, running 10K, no problem. I would never do that before because we don't run those long distances in baseball. For like doing handstands, surfing, skateboarding, I'm just teaching myself. Like I never would have done that before, and I feel like, and I'm aging. I'm getting older, like everyone does. Every day we get a day older, but every day I'm doing something different and new. So I feel like I'm being more active too.
Your age might be increasing, but oh gosh, where was I going with this? I wanted to say that you are getting younger though. You're like, because of how you just described it, your age might be increasing, but you're getting younger. Internally, and at heart.
At heart.
Yes. The number really doesn't mean anything. And same, I think, like we talk about the scale all the time and how that number doesn't mean anything and how we should disassociate our personal value from the number on the scale. And I believe it's the same with age, right? Like, the number doesn't mean anything. I mean, we could go on about that. But anyway.
It's a different subject.
That's a different subject.
Age is mind over matter.
Yes.
If you don't mind, it don't matter.
It don't matter.
Linda says, I'm not a smoothie fan, but I love to bake.
Woo!
Awesome.
That's awesome. So, Linda, this CTP that Drew has in his hand here is the one for baking. And it's wonderful because you can replace it 1-for-1 in conversion with flour. So it's great as a gluten-free flour. So
it actually turns out.
That turns out nice. So the difference would be like a conventional white flour isn't going to have the nutritional value of Complete Truth protein because we have healthy fats and healthy carbs in there. That's going to help with digestion and give you energy. Conventional white flour is not going to provide you with any nutritional value, basically, and do any of that. So that's kind of the difference or why we would suggest baking with Complete Truth protein.
Yeah. Have you tried it, Linda? Let us know if you've tried it. We do have to wrap things up because our battery is around an hour and a half.
Okay.
And we're over an hour and a half.
Okay, guys.
So, 1 second. We got a couple of comments here. Fran says, purpose is inspiration.
Nice.
I love it.
John says, adios, amigos.
See you, John. Have a great day.
Bye, John.
All right, guys. We got to wrap things up. If you need any of our products, we also have our monthly membership group as well. So we do meal planning, recipes, grocery shopping lists, at-home workouts. Sean is involved in there, super supportive. We have an amazing group, and if you're interested in joining us, I think it's a great time of year to get going with that. If you want any of those details or try any of our products, like Linda said, not yet. If you'd like to try our Complete Truth protein, it'll give you a completely different experience from baking. Remember I said, what's that weird flour?
Yes. We've been baking, or I've been baking with CTP for years, but there was one time last summer when we
making a different recipe.
We were making a different recipe or something. I used a different flour, and it was a conventional flour. And Drew was like, "What's wrong with these muffins?" And I told him, I said, "Well, I didn't use CTP. I used conventional flour." And then he's like, and then later on,
I was making it.
Oh, you were making it?
I was making it.
And they were like, they don't taste.
I was making cookies.
Oh.
With like conventional flour, and I was like been using Dorothy just like, here's the flour, like she sets me up with ingredients often, like, here, go do this. So I was making cookies, and the cookies were like, they didn't taste well, they didn't turn out. I was like, And I was like, next time, don't give me that weird flour. Just give me the regular CTP.
The next time he went to bake, he's like, don't give me that weird flour this time. Just give me the CTP. But the weird flour was the conventional flour.
Yeah. So our recipes actually turn out with CTP. Is it part of the trial?
No, the trial was going to be for our new one.
They can still hear us.
Oh, they can still hear us.
Grab that
Okay.
tripod.
The trial,
The camera.
Linda, is going to be for the new flavor.
Sorry, guys. Our camera died. It's right on top.
You can't put it on
Give
the...
me that.
This is the camera. We're trying, guys. We're getting there. So the trial is going to be for our new flavor of CTP. So the original and the smoothie, the green bag, the smoothie one wouldn't be a part of our trial. That was really quick recovery, Drew. I'm proud of you.
I knew it was coming, and I had these set up in case it happened. So
I don't know how much information we can give Drew about the new one.
no. Well, the short answer is no, Linda. Like, you're welcome to be a part of the. Oh, there you go. You're welcome to be a part of the trial if you like. The trial is specifically for our brand new product, which is different from this baking one we're talking about.
Yes, that's a good way.
So you can,
Explain.
if you're interested, you can still join in the trial, and if not, then we can hook you up with a baking bag.
Baking bag.
And then Shauna says, "Gotta go. Love you guys.
Love you too, Shauna.
Love you, Shauna. Bye."
Say hi to Max. Give him kisses for us.
All right, guys. That's it. We should have wrapped up 4 minutes ago. We wouldn't have had the camera issue. But we got back up.
We got back on. Thanks, guys. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning. Without you, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So we appreciate your support so very much. It means a lot to us.
Have a great day.
Bye, guys. Happy Friday.